Day 55 of finding common ground here in America amongst us Americans. So I think for the most part, we get so caught up in the fact that there's always two sides. Take immigration. It's a perfect example. Since I was a child, so it's been at least 40 years, we have been fighting about immigration, pro or anti-immigration. And I have to laugh because I'm like, we have not evolved as much as we think we have as a society because the same talking points still exist. Why do they exist? Because what we all share is the fact that we only look at things from two sides, or at least majority of us. And, it's kind of funny because if you take immigration, it's a perfect example of what could be the third side. And I think it goes back to the fundamental principle of like, think of house ownership. It's like you want to have guests, but do you want any guest in your home? Or example is you need a roommate. Do you want just any roommate? Are you just going to take anybody that's just like, hey, I'm going to come live with you and that's okay, without looking at the fact of like, what do they bring? Can you trust them to pay the rent? Are they clean? Those kind of things. Perfect example too is even as simple as inviting somebody over, and like maybe your house has rules as far as there's no shoes in the house and they have to take their shoes off. I know it sounds corny, but these are fundamental principles of things of looking at the details instead of getting so wrapped up in there being these extreme sides. And I think that that's what we all share in common, is that instead of digging deeper and looking for the third option, what is something maybe in the middle or more negotiable, instead of it being you're either for or against, when there's so many more layers to things. And I think as Americans or as people, we get really caught up and like emotional when we hear two sides and we have to pick one.